Hello everyone and welcome back to our fifth and final video in the Succeeding in 4th Grade Math playlist, and today we're just going to be discussing geometry. So let's go ahead and get started. So first of all, you have to understand how to draw and identify lines and angles and classify shapes by properties of their lines and angles. Okay, so do you know how to draw points, lines, line segments, rays, angles, and perpendicular and parallel lines is what this is asking you. So let's take a look at each of those things. A right angle is simply going to be an angle at 90 degrees, meaning it forms a square at the corner, right? So just like this, okay? An acute angle means it is less than 90 degrees, okay? So think of this square, except it has to be anywhere before it, okay? So it has to be kind of forming a carrot, okay? It can be a thin carrot or it can be a really fat carrot, okay? So that's what an acute angle looks like. An obtuse angle, if you look at the right angle at 90 degrees, is going to simply go past that, okay? So it's going to become flatter and flatter until it can reach a straight angle, okay? So an obtuse angle is greater than 90 degrees, but less than 180 degrees. Okay, finally, that straight angle, right, is at 180 degrees, so it's a flat angle, okay? Just like this. It's just a line, like that. Now, we also have to know how to basically make a segment, right? And a segment is simply a line that has definitive ends. So it has points at either end, okay? So it's a specific length. While a line, right, a line has no end, right? It can continue going out forever, and that's why there's arrows there. An array, right, array is kind of like a combination of a segment and line, okay? So it has a definitive start, but it has no end, right? It keeps going, okay? Parallel lines are going to be two lines that never touch and they go right next to each other, okay? They go straight in the same direction. On the opposite side, there's perpendicular lines which intersect directly at 90-degree angles, okay? So if you look at this thing right here, there's 90-degree angles forming at every single corner right here, okay? Now, we also want to know how to classify two-dimensional figures based on the presence or absence of parallel and perpendicular lines, or the presence and absence of angles. Okay, so if we look at the rectangle here, right, we can see that there's the presence of perpendicular lines, okay, and parallel lines. Okay, so this line is perpendicular to this line, right, and this line is perpendicular to this line. But also, these two lines that have one line on them, right, just kind of like that, are parallel. And these two that have two lines in them are also parallel. Okay, so a rectangle has two sets of parallel lines, but also two sets of perpendicular lines. Okay, now for a triangle, right, it has definitive angles at the corners, right? So the right angle has a 90-degree, square, right? While the A angle and the B angle both have acute angles. Okay, because think about it this way: and a triangle has 180 degrees. Right? If a right angle is taking up 90 degrees of it, then there's only 90 degrees left for the other two angles. And an acute angle has to be less than 90 degrees. So for instance, right, A can be 60 degrees, B can be 30 degrees. A could be 45 degrees and B could be 45 degrees. Okay, final part of today's lesson, very short, is recognizing a line of symmetry. Okay, are lines symmetrical? Okay, so let's look at these examples right here. Okay, a line of symmetry goes down the middle. Okay, that means if you split it into two sides, each side will be equal to each other. Okay, so a heart is symmetrical if you split it down the dead middle. Okay, a triangle is symmetrical if you split it down the dead middle, or if you split it from the left to right or right to left. Right, same thing. Now, a square, right? A square is symmetrical in four different ways, right? You can go top to bottom, left to right, top left to bottom right, or bottom left to top right, right? Either way, all four of those ways works. And the most interesting figure is the circle, okay? Because the circle has infinite numbers of lines of symmetry, okay? You can cut a circle from any angle and you're always going to have some sort of symmetry, okay? Now, finally, right, let's go ahead and look at this performance indicator here. Which figure shows a line of symmetry? So I want you to go ahead and try this one on your own. I'll give you 5 seconds, and then I'll tell you the answer. Okay, so the correct line of symmetry in this case is actually D, okay, the star. And the reason for that is because if you look at the other ones, right, A, you have to split that down the middle in order to get your line of symmetry. As we looked at for B, right, you can look at the triangle there. It's not being split in the three ways that was shown here, right? It's not being split up to down, left to right, or right to left. It's just being split like kind of down there, which isn't enough symmetry. And that weird looking shape, right? The arrow is really, really hard to get symmetry on. Okay, I don't even think it's possible. The only way you're going to get it is if you go left to right directly from the little square. Okay, and since that doesn't have symmetry, that's not going to be the answer. Okay, so that's pretty much it. That's it for geometry. I hope you guys enjoyed. Okay, that's the fifth and final video for our fourth grade series, and we'll talk to you soon. Okay.